Get back to discovering more of the consonants. So we've discovered the lip poppers, the tongue tappers, and tongue scrapers. So we're going to discover the next two brother pairs. Okay. So I've got out the lip poppers here, the tongue tappers, and the tongue scrapers here. I also have out this one right here, which is going to be your F and V. Take those out. And then this one here, which is going to be both your TH.
Which one is, I don't have it yet, Adam. Which one is the F and V with that stream of air?
And then the TH, both THs are this one right here. Okay. So, Adriana, be my student. So, Adriana, we've learned the lip poppers, the tongue tappers, the tongue scrapers. We've practiced them, and you're doing really well, so we can begin to discover our next pair of brother or sisters. What do you want to call brothers or sisters?
Sisters.
Okay. So let's look at a new pair of sisters. All right. I want you to make this sound for me. You can look in the mirror and make that sound. Okay. I want you to tell me what you're using with your mouth. Are you using your lips or your tongue?
My lips.
Okay. Which lip are you using, the top one or the bottom?
Bottom.
And what are you putting on top of your bottom lip?
My top teeth.
Okay. And I want you to feel what's coming out of your mouth. So I want you to take your hand like this. Okay. I want you to put it right by your chin right here. And I want you to kind of blow on it and make that sound like this. Okay. Did you feel, what did you feel?
A lot of it.
A lot of air? Okay. And was it hot air or was it kind of cooling your hand out? Okay. Same thing with that air was going over our lip. It's kind of cooling our lip, right? So we're going to call that a lip cooler. Okay. And the air that you were pushing out, was it a push of air, like the lip poppers, or was it more like a stream of air where you can keep going as long as you have enough air in your lungs?
Stream of air.
Okay. So let's take a look at the pictures here, and I want you to show me where's going to be the lip cooler. Which one of those is going to be the lip cooler? Okay. And why did you choose that?
Because my top teeth are on the lip, and then there's air coming down in one stream. It's not a puff.
And what on the picture is telling you it's a stream of air coming out, and not a push of air?
Straight lines.
These straight lines right there? Okay, good. And is that noisy or quiet to make that?
Quiet.
Quiet. What letter makes that quiet lip cooler sound? F. I want you to choose the F. I want you to put it right underneath our picture right there. Okay. So you just discovered the quiet lip cooler. So can you discover on your own F's noisy brother? What is the noisy lip cooler? So you're going to use the same. Make sure you get a lip cooler, and now you're going to turn on your voice box. What are you doing? What letter makes that sound? Go ahead and take your V and put it right next to it. Okay. And then you can remember how we did the symbol imagery and all the practice with that. Okay. So for time's sake, let's just practice that. Skip the symbol imagery because that takes a little time, right? Okay. All right, so those are the lip coolers. So go ahead and practice with your...
Hi.
It's going to warm you. Are you recording? Okay. So, we have just learned our first 4 brother pairs, sister pairs. Do you want to call them brothers or sisters?
Brothers.
Okay. And we've learned the lip hoppers, the tongue tithers, the tongue scrapers, and the lip coolers. Okay? So we're ready to move on. All right? And I want you to make this sound for me. And you can pick up your mirror and go ahead and make that sound. Okay? And I want you to tell me what you're using in your mouth. Are you using your lips or your tongue to make that sound?
My tongue.
Tongue. What part of your tongue? Are you using the front or the back?
The front.
Mm-hmm. And what are you putting on top of your tongue? Your lips or your teeth?
My teeth.
Your teeth. Okay, good. So we know that we're using your tongue. And again, I want you to, just like we did with the last one, is take your hand just like this. Okay, and put it right underneath right by your chin. And I want you to blow on the top of your hand, making that sound like this. Okay, and just like our last one, is it really hot air coming out, or is that kind of cooling your hand now?
Cooling.
Right. And it's also cooling over that lip, or that tongue, when you make that sound. So we're going to call that sound a tongue cooler. Can you say that one?
Tongue cooler.
Mm-hmm. And I want you to look at our pictures here, and I want you to choose what picture is the tongue cooler. Okay, bring that towards you a little bit. Okay? And why did you choose that picture?
The tongue is out just a little bit. And the teeth are on the tongue. And then there's air that's coming out.
Right. How's that air coming out? Is it a push or a stream of air?
A stream of air.
Mm-hmm. And how do you know it's a stream of air? What's on that picture that tells you it's a stream of air coming?
The straight lines.
Those lines up. Okay. And is that noisy or quiet, that sound?
Quiet.
Quiet. Do you know what letter or letters makes that sound? What letters are those?
TH.
TH. So how many letters do we have there? 1 or 2 letters?
2.
2. So here we have an example where 2 letters can be put together to make one sound. So before we've learned that 1 letter can make one sound, but now you see that there's 2 letters that can make one sound. So I want you to go ahead and put your TH underneath your picture. Okay? And now we can discover TH's noisy brother, the noisy tongue cooler. All right, so make the same thing with your mouth. Make that tongue cooler sound. Now this time, turn on that voice box. There you go. What letter or letters makes that sound?
I think they're the same ones.
The same one, the TH, right? Now, do you see a difference between how those THs are written?
This one has a line underneath.
Right. So that line underneath it is just a way for us to know that that's the noisy brother. Okay? But in real life, do you see, when you spell TH or when you see TH written down, do you ever put a line underneath it, or do you see a line underneath it?
No.
No. So, but that's just for us to help us, okay? All right, and then do the symbol imagery. Okay. One important part of an added part was the fact that we discovered that there's 2 letters that can make one sound. I always talk about that, because this is the first time we've coming across it.
Would you use the word digraph or not at all?
I would.
Okay.
If it was OG, wouldn't you say H brother? I mean,
Yeah.
H brothers.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, easy enough.
But if it were
All right. So I have, see these pictures that I have? Okay, those are the pictures I have, and these are the letters I have up right here. Okay. So, all right, Deb, we have learned the first 5 brother pairs. You want to call them brothers or sisters?
Brothers.
Okay. So we're going to continue since you're doing so well with those. We've learned lip poppers, tongue tappers, tongue scrapers, lip coolers, and the tongue coolers. Okay. So now we're going to move on. So I want you to make this sound for me right here. Okay. And I want you to take a look at the mirror and make that sound. And I want you to tell me how your lips are. Okay. How are your lips? Are your lips like this, or are they fat like this?
Skinny.
Skinny, right? And I want you to put your hand up near your mouth. And I want you to tell me what's coming out of your mouth.
Air.
Air. Is that air coming out in a push, like the sound, like the lip popper, or is it coming out in a stream, like our lip cooler was?
Stream.
It is. So we're going to call that a skinny air stream because our lips are skinny when we do it, and there's a stream of air coming out.
Skinny air stream.
Okay. And I want you to choose right here, which one of the pictures do you think is a skinny air stream? Okay. And why did you choose this one right here?
I can see my teeth, and there's a stream coming out, and the lips are making that skinny line.
Okay. And is that noisy or quiet?
Quiet.
Okay. So what letter makes that sound?
Quiet side.
Yep, very good. Okay. And then let's go ahead and see if you can discover S's noisy brother. What is the noisy skinny airstream? So make your skinny airstream. And now turn on that voice box. Good. Zzz. And what letter makes that sound?
Letter Z.
Very good. All right. Very quick, short and simple, isn't it? Okay. Notice that I didn't really ask her what she's using in her mouth, her lips or tongue. She's kind of using both, and that would be confusing.
So
to the
you
kids.
focus on
Yeah.
smudge.
I asked her how her lips are. Are they skinny or fat? That was a choice and contrast that I made right there. Because if you say, are you using your lips or your tongue? You're like, yeah, I'm using both. Or they might even say tongue. Okay.
Especially.
Yeah. If you have a kid who has a lisp that's doing this, probably won't be able to fix it. So just move on.
And how did you describe the lips again to her? Your what?
Skinny or fat?
Skinny or fat?
And then I kind of did this as a,
Okay.
and then she discovers that her lips are skinny, and she then discovers the air coming out, if it's a push or a stream. And then she discovered the noisy brother. And then you can do the simple imagery. But again, we'll skip that since we're trying to get through all these. Okay? All right, Gene, we have just discovered the skinny airstreams, the S and the Z, and you've done really well. We've practiced it, and you're ready to move on. So we're going to learn and discover our next brother pair. You like to say sister or brother?
Brothers.
Okay, brothers. So I want you to make this sound for me. Okay, and I want you to pick up the mirror like this, and I want you to make that sound and look in the mirror. And I want you to feel your mouth and feel your lips. And I want you to tell me, are your lips skinny, like the skinny airstream, or are they fat?
They're fat.
Okay. And I want you to put your fingers, and I want you to take your fingers right here and put it right by your mouth there, and I want you to tell me what you feel coming out of your mouth when you make that sound.
Like a puff of air.
Right, is it a stream of air like our S and Z sounds, or is it more like we're pushing that air out?
It's being pushed.
Right, so we're gonna call that a fat air push, because our lips are fat and we're pushing air out.
Fat air push.
Right. So I want you to find what picture would be the fat air push.
This one?
Okay, why did you choose that one?
Because it had like a puff, sorry. It had like a puff of air coming out and the lips are kind of fat, like they form like a round fat thing.
Right, they're kind of like the fish lips. You ever do that before? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And when you make that sound, is that noisy or quiet?
It's quiet.
Quiet. What letter or letters makes that sound?
It's this one.
Yeah. And we learned last time with the tongue coolers and the TH that sometimes two letters can be put together to make one sound. Right? So again, that's what we have here. Go ahead and put your CH underneath your picture in the quiet spot. And I want you to, let's discover what the noisy brother is. So go ahead and make that sound again. Your fat air push. Now this time, turn on that voice box. What letter makes that sound?
This one.
What letter is that?
It's J.
J, okay. And sometimes they might say G makes it, right? And you would say, yes, you're right. Good. But we're going to talk about the G later on. And then you can say, what, is there another letter that would make it? And then with the J. Okay, then symbol imagery, and that's the fat air pushes. And the G. All right. So I'm just putting out more pictures here and more letters just to give more choice and contrast for her to choose from. So I'm starting to bring out the cousins here that we'll introduce later on. So, okay, Adriana, you've done really well with the skinny airstreams and the fat air pushes, and you practiced those, and I think you're ready to move on to learn a new brother pair. So I want you to go ahead and make this sound for me. And then take your mirror, and I want you to look inside the mirror. Okay? You're feeling your lips, you're looking, you're hearing, you're seeing it. Okay, and I want you to talk to me about your lips. Are those lips skinny like the S and the Z? Or are they fat like the CH and the J?
They're fat.
They're fat, okay? And I want you to tell me, take your fingers and put it right here by your mouth. And make this. And what do you feel coming out of your mouth?
Feel the air.
Air? Is it a stream like this, the S and the Z, or was it like the push, like the CH or the J?
It's a stream.
It's a stream because we keep going, right? Okay. So I want you to find which picture would be, oh, I'm sorry, we're going to call that a fat air stream because our lips are fat and there's a stream of air coming out. So I want you to find the picture of the fat air stream.
This one.
Okay. And why did you choose that one?
Because I can see the lips are fat and there's some air coming out.
Okay. How is the air coming out though?
In a stream, it's all straight, it doesn't stop at the top.
Right, those straight lines, right?
Mhm.
Okay. How is that different from our skinny airstream? If we look at our skinny airstream picture, how are these two pictures different?
The shape of the lips.
Shape of the lips. That one, are those skinny or fat?
They're skinny.
And this is.
Fat.
How is this different from the fat airstream? How are the pictures different?
Oh, from that one?
The fat airstream here. Or the fat air
it's-
push, I'm sorry. The fat air push.
The difference is how the air comes out.
Right. How about the lips?
The lips look the same to me.
Okay.
Both fat.
Okay, good. So what letter or letters makes that sound? Is that noisy or quiet?
Quiet.
Right, so we're going to put it in the quiet spot. And what letters did you choose there?
SH.
SH. okay? And I want you to discover the noisy fat airstream. What is SH's brother? So let's make that sound again. And then we feel right here in our voice box. Now turn on that voice box. Okay? Now, we don't really have a letter for that sound. So what we're going to do is, we're just going to use this ZH right here. Okay? And we're going to put that right next to. This ZH is going to be our noisy fat airstream. But in real life, we don't spell ZH. Okay? Sometimes you'll see that sound spelled with an S or an SI or an SU. It depends. Okay? But we do use that sound. What state are you from? What state do we live in?
Indiana.
What do we call people from Indiana?
Hoosiers.
Hoosiers. So you, when you say Hoosier, do you feel your mouth making a fat airstream? Okay. Is it at the front, the middle, or the beginning, the middle, or the end of that word?
Middle.
Middle. So we do make that sound, right? We just don't spell it with the ZH. It has different spellings, okay? That's how I would introduce that. Okay, we ready? All right. So Denise, you have been doing such a fantastic job. You learned all of your sisters, and we practiced them, and you've done very well. So now it's time for us to move on to your cousins. Okay? So let's talk about cousins.
Okay.
Do you have any cousins?
I do.
Okay. Name something. Just think of one cousin that you might like. What is something that you two have in common?
We talk alike, actually, which, you'll curious to what a kid might say, or my relationship with that cousin, I've noticed that we talk a lot alike.
Okay.
We like the same kinds of things. Even
Right.
though we live far apart, we found out we're a lot alike.
Good. What about something that's different between the two?
We have different jobs.
Okay.
Yeah, she's into medical stuff, like blood and guts and all that stuff, and I don't.
All right. So we talked before how brothers and sisters they are related. They have a lot in common, but they have maybe one little difference here and there. Same thing with cousins. Cousins are related. They have some stuff in common, and then also some things that are different. But cousins are less related, right? There's more differences in cousins, but they still have some similarities. So we're going to discover some sounds that we're going to call cousins because they're still related, but they have a little bit more differences than the brothers and sisters, okay? So I want you to make this sound. Go ahead and pick your mirror up and go ahead and look in the mirror. Feel your mouth. And I want you to tell me what you're using in your mouth, your lips or your tongue.
I'm using my tongue, I can see it.
Okay? You can see your tongue there. Is it the front part of your tongue or the back part of your tongue?
It's the front.
The front. What is that tongue doing? Is it tapping like we did with our tongue tappers? Or is it kind of just lifting?
It's just lifting.
Lifting. So we're going to call that a tongue lifter.
Tongue lifter.
Okay.
Okay.
And I want you to find which one of these pictures right here is the tongue lifter picture.
Well, this is the only one that's got the tongue in it.
Right. You can see the tongue. Okay. And what part of the tongue is lifting there? You
The
saw?
tip.
The tip, the front, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And what letter makes that sound?
It's this one.
Okay, what letter is that?
That's L.
L. So go ahead and put that right down underneath there.
Do I go up here or
You
do I
can just put it right underneath wherever you want to put it.
Okay.
Okay. So we've learned that that is a tongue lifter, and you also said it's the front, right? So the tongue lifts to the front. Okay. So if we again pretend like this is the top of your mouth and this is your tongue is kind of lifting to the front like that, right?
Okay.
And now I want you to make this sound for me. Ruh, ruh, ruh,
Ruh, my dog. Ruh.
And if you had pork and Gillingham, you know that we do the happy puppy, right? Right? Okay, so I want you to, let's again look in your mirror. And I want you to tell me what you're using in your mouth, your lips or your tongue, when you make that sound.
My tongue.
Tongue, right. What is that tongue doing then? Okay? Is it scraping, like the tongue scrapers? Or is it kind of lifting? Like the L.
It's not scraping, it must be lifting.
Okay. Do you feel it? Look in the mirror. We want to make sure that they can feel this. Or see it. And you can even open your mouth a little bit wider. You see your tongue moving
I
up to
see
the
it
back there?
raising now, yeah.
Okay. Is it moving forward like the L, or is it lifting to the back?
It's going back.
Okay. So we're going to call that a back tongue lifter.
Back tongue lifter.
Okay. Do you know what letter makes that sound?
That's R.
R. Can you find the R for me?
There.
And you can put it right underneath there if you want. Now let's feel, because in our brothers, we did the same thing in the mouth, right? But what were the differences with the brothers?
One was noisy and one was quiet.
Okay. So in the cousins, let's check and see what the differences are.
Okay.
All right? They're both lifting, tongue lifters. Let's find out what the differences are. Let's see if it's noisy and quiet. Let's make the L sound, the front tongue lifter. Is that noisy or quiet?
I feel a little something there, but it's not like before.
Okay. Is it vibrating though? Do you feel it vibrating? So
Yeah,
we would
I
say,
do.
is it noisy or quiet if it's
Then
vibrating?
it must be noisy.
Okay. Let's do the back tongue lifter. Let's see if that's noisy or quiet.
That's noisy too.
So they're both noisy.
Huh.
Okay. Something that they have in common. We
Okay.
both know that they're lifting the tongue, right?
Okay.
But what's different about them? The L, which way does it lift? To the front or to the back?
The L's going to the front, but
About
the
the
R is
R?
in the back.
So, okay. So the L we call the front tongue lifter in the back, and the R we call the back tongue lifter. Okay? So, and you can just leave it like right where how you have it, because the L we will put first because that goes to the front,
Okay.
and the R we'll put second because that goes to the back.
All right.
Okay? And then you can do simple imagery. So you've just learned your tongue lifters. Does that make sense? A little bit different approach to discovering it all.
Yep.
I had the same pictures out, same letters. So, all right, Carol, we've done really well discovering our first cousins. We practiced those, and now we're ready to learn another group of cousins. Okay. So I want you to make this sound for me. And then take your mirror, make that sound, and look and feel, and. Okay.
Well, my lips are closed.
Yeah, you're using your lips, right?
Mhm.
And your lips are closed, right? And before, when we felt, we would put our two fingers up here to feel what would be coming out of our mouth, right? We always felt that air would be coming out of our mouth, right?
Right, that was.
How can air come out? How can you make that sound or air come out if your mouth is closed? Let's find out. Let's go up here and feel where the air is coming out. Is it coming out of your mouth or your nose?
It's coming out of my nose.
And if you can't feel it, you can take that mirror, put it right up to your nose if you want to, and make the sound. Do you see it kind of fog up?
Yes.
Okay. So we know, we can feel it, and you can see the air coming out of your nose. Okay.
Yes.
So we're going to call that a nose sound. Okay. And I want you to choose what picture would be the nose sound picture. It's got to be that one, all right? Because it's the picture of a nose, right? Okay. And what letter makes that sound?
Letter M.
M. Can you find the M for me? Okay. We can just put it right underneath it. Okay. And we're gonna discover some cousins of N,
Okay.
all right? Remember, they all have something similar and something different.
Yes.
Okay, so let's make this next sound. And go ahead and look in your mirror. Are you using your lips or your tongue this time?
I'm using my tongue, but my lips are open this time.
Right? And is it the front or the back of your tongue?
Front.
Okay. And is it tapping, is it lifting, or is it just kind of staying there?
It's staying right there.
Staying right there, right? Okay. And again, let's feel where the air is coming out. Because our mouth's open this time. Is it still coming, is it coming out of our mouth or our nose? Let's feel. Put it by your mouth and put it up by your nose. See where you feel the air coming out. And if you need to put your nose on the mirror there again.
It's still my nose.
But another thing you can do is you can cover your mouth. Can you still make that sound? So we know that the air has to be coming out of here. Where the other ones, we could probably plug our nose and make the lip hopper, right?
Can't do it.
And so if we plug our nose, we can't make the N sound, can we? So we know that the air is coming out of our nose.
You know
So
about that.
that's another nose sound. Can you find
Yeah, wouldn't it?
the N?
Yes.
Let's put it right there.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm gonna have you make another sound.
Okay.
And you are making the sound because your tongue is to the front there. And I want you to look at my tongue and see if it's in the front or if it goes to the back.
It's kind of in the back.
What part of the tongue am I using? Can you see? Am I using the front part or the back part?
Kind of the back part, yeah.
Yeah. So what you're doing is you're going to look in the mirror.
Okay.
You're taking the front of your tongue and you're moving it back.
Right.
We want to take the back of your tongue
Okay.
and then move it back.
Okay.
Kind of like when we did our tongue lifter.
Uh-huh.
How the back of our tongue went backwards. It's kind of the same thing, right? But where is the air coming out?
It's coming out of our nose.
Our nose, so we can feel, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what letters make that, or letter or letters? You can go ahead and choose and see what letter or letters makes that sound.
I'm going to choose this one.
Okay, and what letters are those?
NG.
NG, okay. So we've discovered that the M sound, the N sound, and the NG sound, the air comes out of our nose. So they're all going to be nose sounds.
Nose sounds.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's feel and see if they're noisy or quiet.
Okay.
Let's make the M sound.
Noisy.
Noisy. Let's make the N sound.
Noisy.
Noisy. NG.
Noisy.
Okay, so they're all noisy. They're all nose sounds. Let's figure out the difference between them.
Okay.
Okay. When we made the M sound, what do we use in our mouth? Lips or tongue?
Just our lips.
Lips. And if I turn my head like this, where are the lips at? Are the lips in the front of my mouth, the middle, or the back of my mouth?
They're in the front.
Front. So we're going to call the M the front nose.
Front nose.
We'll put him first
Okay.
because he's in the front, right?
Okay.
Let's look at N. Let's make the N sound again. Were you using your lips or tongue?
Tongue.
Okay, was it the front or the back?
Front.
Okay. Where is the front of our tongue? Is it in the front of our mouth, the middle of our mouth, or the back of our mouth?
It's the front.
Front. Is it in front of the lips?
No.
Okay. So then we could say it's in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we're going to call that, the N, the middle nose sound.
The middle nose sound.
Because we're using our tongue, the front of our tongue, and that's kind of in the middle of our mouth right here. Okay. Now let's make the NG. Okay. And again, are you lips or tongue?
Tongue.
Tongue. What part of the tongue? Front or back?
Back of my tongue.
Back of your tongue. So is that the front of your mouth, the middle of your mouth, or the back of the mouth?
I would say back.
Okay. So we'll call this the back nose. We'll put that at the end.
Okay.
Okay. All right. That's it.
Suppose they overemphasize, because if you push your lips in all the way, then it's going towards the back.
Just have a look at you, I would think.
If you push your lips
Look at me.
back, well, okay, but is it still in relationship to the end?
It's still in the front. It's in front of the
So
tongue.
like what Carol said, when I asked her about the
So
end,
these are nose
I said, is it in the
sounds.
front, the middle, or the back? She
Right.
said back, and I kind of had to air handle a little bit.
Yeah,
Or she said front, I can't remember what she said.
okay,
I
okay.
think she said front.
So as long as the teeth is the dividing, if it's in front of the teeth, then it's in the front. If it's behind, it's the middle, and then if it's going all the way, okay.
Yeah, have them discover if it's lips or tongue,
Uh-huh,
what part of the tongue,
uh-huh,
and then where is that
in relation.
in
okay.
relationship to our mouth? Is it in the front, the middle, or the back?
Okay,
And if they get it wrong, just have them air handle and have them compare the response to the stimulus.
okay.
To clarify, you're talking, where is the tongue supposed to be when they're making the M sound? Mine's just laying there.
Do we talk about the tongue?
No, you're just talking about the lips, but then when you're talking about the sound in relation, you're talking, that you go back, you're mentioning the tongue, aren't you? When you say
With
the
the M?
lips, yeah, you said that it's, the sound's in the front, is that the term you're using? You're saying
It's
where's
the
the
front
sound
nose.
out? The sound's in the front of the nose. And
It's
then
a-
relation,
It's not the front of the nose, it's a
Just
front,
no.
just
Nose.
front nose sound,
yeah,
that the sound we're making with the front of our mouth.
yes.
Okay, I just want to get my terms right.
So we discovered similar about all these sounds. They're all noisy, they're all the air comes out of the nose on all of them. They're all nose sounds. But it's the different positions of the mouth that you're using to make those sounds. The lips are in the front of the tongue's in the middle, the back of the tongue's in the back. And you didn't get the straight. You don't want to be on camera.
I'm not.
Get it close up.
This is the wind beneath my wings, right?
Yeah.
This is the-
Wind beneath our
Okay.
wings.
So Deb, we have been working with the brothers, and now we've learned 2 groups of cousins, and we've done really well. Practice those. So we're going to learn our last group of cousins, which is going to be the last of our consonants. Okay? So I want you to make this sound for me. And I want you to go ahead and you can look in the mirror. Okay? And I want you to also feel. What do you feel coming out of your mouth?
It's a lot of air.
It's a lot of air, right? It's not just a little bit of air like when we made our lip popper.
It's a
Just a
lot.
little bit, and it's a lot of air. What do we call a lot of air when we look outside?
Wind.
Wind, right? We see the trees and the leaves blowing, grass, and that is the wind, right? So we're going to call that sound a wind sound or windy sound. And I want you to find which one of those pictures do you think is a picture for a wind sound. Why don't you choose that one?
It's only wind.
Right. It's not a picture of
It's like a
the mouth or the nose, it's just a big picture of a gust of wind, right? Okay. Do you know what letter or letters makes that sound? Okay. Okay. And a lot of times they're not gonna know that, right?
And if they don't know it, you just give it to them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just give it to you. Okay? All right, good. Now, we're gonna talk about that sound a little bit, because sometimes that sound, we don't really use it anymore. It's kind of a dying sound in our language. Maybe, they used to say it a while back, my grandparents used to use that sound, the WH, but we don't really use it anymore, okay? But it kind of sounds like this, whoop, whoop, okay? And when you made that first sound, I want you to tell me, is that noise or quiet?
quiet.
Okay. But now we kind of pronounce it like this. Whoop. Is that noisy or what? Whoop.
Noisy.
Yeah. What other letter makes that sound? But whoop. You know what other letter makes that sound? Mhm. Good. And let's talk about that. And we've, again, whoop, whoop. Is it a lot of air or a little bit of air?
Probably just a little,
A little more, little
a lot less than.
less than that, but if we compared it to our lip popper or tongue tapper, is there more air or less air?
Less,
And then you say, what?
It's even less.
It's less than the lip poppers? Okay. Let's,
To me, it is.
well, I'm gonna take this little tissue right here, and I'm gonna put it in front of my mouth. We can actually see how much air is in it now. So I'm gonna make my lip popper, I'll make the B sound. How about that? And then I'll make the W sound. And I want you to tell me on which one of those sounds does more air come out, or does the tissue move more, okay? Whoop. 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 Which one did it
When
move
you're doing it
more?
like that,
The W more,
You can
moves more?
then you see saying, the W
Right.
actually did use more.
Okay.
Didn't seem like
So if it's a lot of wind coming out, what do we call that? A lot of wind or a lot of air coming out outside? What do we call that?
tornado. Windy.
Windy, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna call this a windy as well. Okay? Okay? And I want you to make this sound. And again, is it a little bit of air coming out or a lot of air? And we can compare it to another sound.
I think it's more than this one, but this one's the most,
Okay?
in my opinion.
Well, let's just talk about that sound.
Excuse me.
Was it a little bit of air or a lot of air coming out?
That's a lot.
Okay, so we'd call that sound a windy too. Okay. So do you know what letter makes that sound? Okay. So we know that these are all cousins. They're all windies, right? Because there's a lot of air coming out of our mouth.
Move the tiles up just a little bit. Thank you.
Okay? And are they all noisy or are they all quiet?
This one's noisy, these two are quiet.
Okay, so two of them are quiet, one's noisy. That's how they can be different. Well, let's find out how else they can be different. You already talked about that. You said there's more air coming out of this one and there's less air coming out of this one, right? Let's order those. Okay? Which one has the most wind? Which one has the least amount of wind?
That's the most. So probably this
You think that's the most?
one. Are we doing from least to greatest?
Whichever way you want to go.
Okay, least to greatest.
Okay.
That's
Let's-
what I think.
We need to check and see if you're right.
Okay.
All right? So I'm going to make this and then you can have it too. All right? Let's just, which ones do you want to compare first? Let's just compare to
Well, let's try to see
the W and the WH? Okay. Whoop.
Wow, sure.
Which one had more?
This one.
Okay. So we know that's more than this one. Which ones do you want to compare next?
These two.
Okay. I'll do that one and then I'll do that one.
Okay, this is more than this one.
Okay.
So we know something about that.
All right, how about we compare these two?
Okay, sure.
Whoop.
So this one's more than this, less than this, so they, yeah.
Okay.
Then
I want you to try it and see if you can get
I
this.
believe it.
Which ones do you want to do first?
I'll do these two.
Okay.
Why? See, I don't have that here.
One way to do it is to hold it higher and blow on the bottom.
Okay. What? Yeah. so that's-
Okay. Now which ones do you want to do? So you were right. You guessed right.
Amazing.
And we were able to check and make sure.
That's neat.
It's hard to tell like doing this.
It's hard to feel that way, so then when you put it with the tissue in front of you, you can see it. Right? Okay, so we're gonna call this the least windy, medium or middle windy, or the most windy. That's how they are different. They're all the same because they're windy, they're all different by the amount of air that comes out of your mouth. Okay? And remember, this one is kind of a dead sound. We don't really pronounce it. We pronounce it more like this one. Okay? All right? Got it? Okay. If we're looking at the W and the WH, these are, when you make the sound whoop and this sound, you're doing the same thing with your mouth. This one is voiced whoop, this one's unvoiced. But why would this have more air? You're doing the same thing with your mouth. What's the difference between them?
Oh, the voice box is on, and so it's kind of acting like an obstruction to the air where you have an open throat or voice box, and then the air can just flow freely.
Right, so when you make an
Under pressure.
unvoiced sound or a quiet sound, you have more air coming out of your mouth. Rather than the voice sound, the air does get a little obstructed through the voice box. The energy is taken up through the vibration.